Hey fuckers, it's Friday.
Can't spell shattered without shat or turd.
Like a gut punch to the abdomen.
Some of the funniest shit on the web.
I call it a rock Fred.
I like the cut of your jib, gentlemen.
These 5 are the only protection we have.
The best part of the show is the genuine Hasbro love.
Good night, folks.
And of course, Matt's weekly farts.
Breaking news. It's very outside of the box.
Nailed it.
I love Friday.
Bob's Bait and Tackle, now carrying Hasbro.
They truly are your favorite podcast.
Thoughts, prayers, likes, and shares.
Shut up,
From A to B.
Uncut. Is that you?
When are you going to bring Larry back?
My favorite Star Wars podcast.
Shattered cast on it.
Complete fuckers. Podcast is intended for mature audiences only, and its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and
Shut the fuck up, Chip.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shattercast Uncut, episode 331. That is 331. Our reign is unchallenged, and we have officially started the world-class pug death battles. That's right, your favorite pug is now battling to the death. Pug owners everywhere are slapping on armor on their favorite little pug, and sadly, rest in peace, Gator is now with his owner in heaven who died of coronavirus because he lost in the first round up against Snuggles, the all-white pug.
That was really heartbreaking. That was really a heartbreaking showing for Gator there.
Yeah. So, yeah, we had faith, but I guess since Matthew kicked it because he kept inhaling all those boxes from China. Mm-hmm. I'm your host, Oscar Alonso, also known as Pug Farmer 23.
Pug Farmer.
On Animal Crossing, look me up. And joining me tonight are two members of the Fearsome Four. Greg is not joining us, and Matt, of course, is still on sabbatical because he's dead. Coming up first to bat, he is a person who turned me on to deep-fried pug ribs, as well as pug and pork soup. He is also everyone's favorite attorney, and as of recently, the only person on Facebook who's not an armchair expert when it comes to the coronavirus, Mr. Robert D.
Good evening, dear listeners. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday night and Friday morning. Yeah, you know what, man? I rarely will chime in on things I know about, much less things I don't know shit about. Like, if I heard about something on the news, maybe I'll mention I heard of a story, but I'm not going to act like I know the information, because like there's always two sides to any story, and
Yep.
Neither of them are accurate.
Well, technically it's three, right? The two parties involved in the truth, but the truth sadly gets trampled on.
I hate seeing that everybody's an expert. Everyone's an expert. And the funny thing is, my favorite is when somebody acts like a legal expert and they're not. And you look them up and they're just something else. And they're not lawyers. Like, you rarely see lawyers get in there and start giving legal advice, because as a lawyer,
is that what happened on the Beast Wars buy-sell trade page?
I don't even know. I don't even remember. I would with knockoff stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, look, I rarely get involved with the discussions on what constitutes knockoffs versus possible copyright infringement, just because it's just a circular argument. Nobody wants to listen. And I just tell them, look, if I explain it to you, you can owe me $500, and I just don't, but, oh my God, and the conspiracy theory people, like
pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic people, and they're all the same people. They're like, it's the same, groups of people that, like, they're just like tying it all into politics and deep state and everything. It's like, hey guys, guess what? What's going on in the world right now is bigger than politics. It's bigger than your stupid conspiracies. It's bigger than anyone in the government or in the military. It's bigger than all that. Doesn't matter where it originated from. At this moment, it's bigger than all that. So it's just amazing how, and I really feel like it's this like, it's like I'm not a psychologist, but my gut reaction is like, this is just people's need to still feel like we have control. So rather than accept that there's something bigger than you and more powerful than you, and I'm not talking about divinity, I'm just talking about nature, something out there that you can't even see can kill you and everyone love.
You said it best when you shared that meme. It's like when someone who you thought was a smart person shares a pandemic conspiracy video, and it's just different faces, and it's like it's So yeah. I mean, I've heard it all from it being like population control by the NWO, right? Illuminati, Bill Gates doing this all because he wants to implant us all with microchips and shit. I think one I heard running around on YouTube, it was on YouTube videos, jumping through on there because sometimes you jump down that rabbit hole. One has to do with Elon Musk helping Bill Gates out. Mm-hmm. It's fucking dumb.
It's arrogance. It's just thinking just because we've had a short run of history and it's really a short run of history where we've kind of had a nice run of health and scientific achievements that have kept the population healthy and everything, and the biggest danger has been just intentional self-destruction, rather than be it wildlife or plagues or disease. Now there's something that can get you, and we really don't understand it. It's a boogeyman, and we'd rather feel a sense of control that, oh no, it's these people doing it, and if I can only convince you and everyone else that it's these people doing it, then we have control over it.
Yeah.
No, stupid.
It's seriously, it's like you said, seeing people debate about this is no different than seeing people debate about politics, how it turns into a circular argument, right? It's like, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. Well, here's this web article. No, here's this web article. But
I win because I posted a meme about it. I win.
Well, I don't know, guys. I've been seeing some Teslas drive up and down the street spraying some fluid out of them, so I don't know.
That's just to make the frogs turn gay. If you listen to Alex Jones, Justin,
5G
that's all it is to it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the gay agenda, but inflicted upon frogs. And speaking of Justin, this next person is obviously one of the most reasonably. I can't fucking think of the word now. He's very level-headed person on YouTube and on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I think the word is gay agenda.
Ever gets involved in a big major post of some kind on Facebook, normally he gets showered with lots of thumbs up because he doesn't fuck around. He just drops his mic and walks off. He is the engineer, the one and only, the sex king, and of course, a fellow pug puppy farmer, T2R6 Justin.
What's going on, Robert? Thank you for sending me that pulled pug sandwich recipe. It's delicious.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, who thought pugs were good eating? I always knew they had trouble breathing, but I had no clue that tenderized the meat and gave it that extra spice.
Well, the great thing is the crackling you get from the wrinkly muzzle. Oh
yeah. Oh my God, it's so good.
It's like pernil, but it's
rest in peace, Gator. But you were good eating. Quarter legs for $4. That's what's up. So did anybody get anything this week, Justin?
Nope.
Wow.
Robert?
Yes.
What'd you get?
I did. Yes, I did. I got in the Iron Factory Transmetals 2 Megatron.
Nice. You mean the Toy World?
No, Iron Factory. Transmetals 2, not Transmetals.
Oh, okay. The Heat Death.
Heat Death, thank you. I never remember the names. We used to always try to know the names, remember? And some names are better than the original names. You know? Like, it's so funny. Some characters we do just... Like Constructor. I don't say Toy World Devastator. I just say Constructor. He's Constructor to me. You know?
Yeah, and that sounds better than in some cases it sounds better than Devastator. But I mean, in the case of Heat Death, that sounds like a movie used in Final Fantasy VII.
Heat Death sounds like I had a little too much Chipotle in my food. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
That would imply Chipotle is good, but you know.
I mean Chipotle peppers. Chipotle, you know, in the adobo sauce out of the can, so spicy. Spicy. No.
But of course, I know all about it.
Oh, son. We did post on the SEU page a question whether any listeners have any questions about love and life for Centro.
And no one asked because they're all incels.
Mm-hmm. Everyone on SEU wants to pretend that their love life is perfect, right? But we know. Come on, guys. Come on.
There's no such thing. But yeah, it really is a miniature. It's like Perfect Effects. I think his name was Dragoon. I think that was his name.
No, that's Unique Toys. Megatron.
You're right. But it was like Dragoon. It was similar.
Yeah, it was weird because it did a Cryotech also, which I've been keeping my eye on lately because that looks really good.
I've like a mini-me of him.
My Twitter feed is full of people retweeting Pia's fucking photos.
This guy is swinging. You gotta see this guy is laying the pipe.
I missed out on him, unfortunately, but
Look what he's got going on over here. He's almost like a Gundam with this, because you usually see this with Gundam. Here. Look at the pipe this guy's laying. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're not joking. That's to show he's powerful. He's powerful. Yeah, no, I haven't transformed him yet. I meant to last night. I was like, the kids were asleep. I've been a raging insomniac. It's been horrible. I'm going to bed at 4 or 5 a.m. Doesn't matter if I take a sleeping pill or not. And it was like 1 in the morning, and I got him out, and I put him in the bed, and one thing led to the other, and I wasn't transforming him, and I just hit him behind a plant so Azalea wouldn't break him.
Normally when I hear one thing led to another, it ends in sex, but okay.
No, this was like YouTube searches for like ancient engineering and stuff. or like Asian street food markets, like I just I'm really good at wasting time. Really good at wasting time watching like street food being cooked and eaten. And if Lisa wakes up, she'll be like, "What the hell?" And the only thing that puts me to sleep is either Jim Gaffigan stand-up, or Joe Rogan, like with Graham Hancock or something. That'll put me to sleep.
Yeah.
It's only something if I've seen it so many times, I don't need to open my eyes. Then I can go to sleep to it because I can see it in my mind. If it's something new and interesting, I can't go to bed because I want to see what's going on. But what else did I get? I got in my replacement Generation Toy Red Bull, so that came in as well. It feels silly to do this because the bot really stays together. So I've got an extra bot now, but you wouldn't know it was broken, but just knowing it broke and it was such a good figure really bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
I normally wouldn't even give a fuck. I would have chalked it up and said it was a piece of shit, but it really isn't a piece of shit. You have one
sent you like a whole replacement?
No, I just bought a new one. I broke it. I broke it. You got one of these coming, right, Oscar?
Yeah, it's in my stash at Chosen Prime.
You want
Not
my
to add
broken?
something else tonight while we talk, but
Justin, you want me to send you my broken one? Maybe you can fix it.
I mean, I'll fix it, but I don't really want it.
You can keep it. No, I don't need it back.
He'll give it to his son. And even his son will be like, "Piece of shit," and Justin will be like, "Yeah, you're right. I mean, no, bad son, don't curse."
And
his daughter will be like, "He's a piece of shit."
I still think it's a leg mode. They sent it to you in leg mode on purpose, but whatever. It just has no combiner ports that I can make any sense.
Who made it?
Is that all you got
Generation
so far?
Toy?
Generation Toy, yeah. It goes really well with their Optimus Primal.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it wouldn't be a stretch of the imagination to see it end up getting a combiner version of, like, Predaking, right? So
this is Tantrum, and he's in leg mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really would take a minor tweak here and there to turn him into Tantrum.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, he comes in fucking leg mode. Aesthetically, he's collapsed exactly the way Generation Toy Warbitron does their leg modes. So
yeah.
I don't know. Let me see if I split the legs. I don't see anything inside that would be ports. So it's weird. But that's about it. In terms of toys, that's all that I got. But that's enough. I mean, I've been getting shit recently, so I'm happy. I'm waiting for Iceman to come. That's supposed to be in the mail.
Yeah, mine is dropping, and as soon as that hits, then I'll probably ship him and Sheridan, and I'll have something new. So, when I say I have something, I already told you what it's going to be, but whatever.
You can quiz us to see if we were paying attention.
Yeah,
I'll bet you I don't remember. Pay attention. What about you, Oscar?
Something in the mail.
Oscar, did you get anything?
I did. Well, not in the mail. I went out and my friend Ryan picked it up for me. I told him if he saw it out there to pick it up. So he went ahead. It's the Netflix Transformers series Mirage, the one with the Decepticon logo.
What's is that just like was that an actual character in the comics or something, or in the show?
No, I think it's in the show. I haven't seen the show yet because it hasn't come out, but I think like he's in disguise and he's like trying to infiltrate the Decepticons and stuff. So, I mean, That's cool. Like I like the deco. It works great on him. It's very shattered glass. You know, he even had these really creepy yellow eyes on him and stuff. It pulls it off. It's not bad for a $20 deluxe. You know,
I stopped picking up like odd characters retail that I didn't already know were on the show during like Transformers Prime. Like I remember when Rumble came out, I was like, oh shit, Rumble's gonna be on the show.
He's not.
And he never was. Like all those freaking beast. What were they? They were the Predacons. Half of them weren't even on the show. Most of them weren't even on the show. I was so mad because they were such cool toys.
Yeah, the two Predacons that were on there was like Skylynx and
Butt Plug.
No, not butt. Jesus Christ, Robert. Not Butt Plug. You butt plug. His name was Skylynx, and there was another one. He was the bigger one.
Green guy, right?
Yeah. He was on the show. He was on the special, not even in the program for a few episodes, just on like the little movie they made. But yeah, it's like I said, it's not bad. I'm not trying to get like the whole shebang, right?
Shebang.
I'm not trying to get all that. I'm just, like I looked at the Mirage. I seen photos of it. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm happy with my Siege Mirage. I'm not a big Mirage fan, but I like the color deco. It's a nice little touch. So yeah, I told my friend if you see it, pick it up, and he did. So I was like, awesome.
So does he become even more opaque? Is that his power?
I don't know.
Matter, you can see me even more now.
You can't go away. The past haunts you forever. Secrets in the dark. Making out with your cousin and tell everyone she's just a friend. But yeah, that's all I got. Nothing like really big. Like I said, I'm working on. Right now, I'm indecisive whether I need to go for. Because I really like the Planet X Star Saber that they made. It's very IDW. That's kind of my bag. I love that design. Or I may just go with I don't know. May just go with that PE Gorura. Nemesis Gorura.
But you said you didn't like that.
I know, it's weird. I keep looking at it, and it keeps looking really good to me. And then it's like, I look at like the Planet X Cadmus.
I think if you're going to get the Perfect Effect Gorilla, then you need to get the Transmetals 2 Megatron. They're both beautiful figures. If you're not going to go that route, then go the Star Saber.
Yeah, because I really do like the Star Saber.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. So I'll probably pick that up tonight, put it in my stash, and then ship it. But yeah, so let's go to the news. So we got some, I guess, from NewAge, everyone's favorite Legends class company, is making a G1 rendition of Reflector.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited.
I think they're starting out with the toy version. That's going to be the first release. The red, blue, and...
Yeah, I don't really want that, but, I mean, it's fine. I actually put in I think because... Did I put it in? I think I did put in a pre-order for the Magic Square toy version. Because, I was like, it was a cool little toy. I wouldn't mind having that, especially in, like, the G1 toy colors. And then I was like, NewAge will be my actual show reflector,
Yeah. I'm surprised that they're not mentioning here that the toy one, I'm pretty sure they said that they were going to release that one first. I could be wrong, but look, history repeats itself. Why wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you release the Toon version first? You're going to increase sales. Magic Square is doing the same thing with their Soundwave. They are not releasing Soundwave first. They're releasing Sound Blaster first. Everyone's going to buy it.
Yeah.
And then when Soundwave comes out, everyone's going to buy that. So this is an old school third-party playbook. I respect it. We've complained about it a lot in the past, but this looks pretty cool. Makes me want to get it. So maybe I'll get the toy version of this just for the hell of it. Shits and giggles and shits.
I like the Diaclone set. They're more unique rather than being like one unit. They all look different.
Yeah.
Were people complaining that the heads weren't accurate? One of the heads wasn't accurate or something? Like,
Well, you know what? Those people can kindly eat bleach.
I think that's true. That's what I remember them looking like.
Accurate. Maybe they were complaining about the Magic Square. Maybe it was the Magic Square they were complaining about because these guys.
The Diaclone version looks like an actual camera, from those days.
Oh, one has a visor. I think that was the complaint. Maybe it's the Magic Square. Yeah, this looks good. This looks like the.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I like it so much that I'm reconsidering my Magic Square Diaclone ones or toy ones. So we'll see.
Ones. You got to handle those.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
they're fine. I don't dislike them, but I really like how these ones look. I don't know. We'll see.
They remind me of that watch. They look so little and compact. They look like the little watch. Remember the watch, the transforming watch?
Yeah.
They look fun. These guys look fun.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm not thrilled about with these guys is I see they have the same like wrist flip that what the hell's his name? God damn it, Braun and Outback. They have like that weird wrist flip, and I just don't really like how it worked on them. Like I feel like you try to put the weapon in there and it just constantly like flips back down. So that disappoints me a little. But I mean, all in all, it's probably going to be fine. So
it's really interesting seeing two companies approach joints the way they are. You know? I mean, do you want? I really do not like the aesthetics of a ball joint, but it holds up better with the scale.
Yeah, and honestly, it doesn't bother me at this scale. If it was a bigger scale, I would be not as happy with it. But how it stands, it's fine.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it holds up fine. It works fine. Like in the event that like things happen to it, like over time that joint degrades or whatever, like you can always make the ball joint a little bit thicker. Oh, I had got
with crazy glue. Right?
You just don't use crazy glue. That's right. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that oobleck. It's made out of like an oobleck type material. So if you smack it with a hammer, it gets tighter.
Yes, true.
Wow. So they've got a clear version coming too. Why? Why is there a clear version? Why?
I don't know, dude. I honestly thought that gimmick was to celebrate the fact that, hey, these characters died in the movie. This is them as a ghost. But it's like Ultra Magnus never died, but we're getting like, a clear version of him. And guys like Deluxe are sitting there going, fapping away as they're hitting at the cart.
Not clear Transformers.
I love Transformers.
Love Transformers. Is it a Transformer? Well, then I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Do I have to donate more plasma? Yes. Someone ate my pug.
Who ate Gator? Man, I miss him. I just came back to life from the coronavirus. Hey, but moving on to the next subject on hand here. Once this loads up, there we go. Iron Factory Fallen.
This looks cool.
This looks pretty tight.
Mm-hmm. The tank mode looks good. I have no complaints on that.
Head crest is fucking phenom right there, man. Oof. You are one evil looking motherfucker. Man, I know we mentioned this a few weeks ago, but this really reminds me of Maki Toys Paladin, man. Like, it really does.
It does. This probably is even worse because I feel like the scale between, like, Paladin was a fairly small figure, if I remember right. So, like, I don't think that this guy looks like he's necessarily all that small. It's hard to really say, I guess. But
I think he's got to be, like, the same, like, he's obviously Legends class because it's Iron Factory, but he's got to be, like, the same height as, like, Megatron or Overlord.
No,
which
Overlord's
I found
small.
in storage. Thank you, Magic. What a great deal he gave me when he sold me Iron Factory Overlord. Years and years, like 2 years ago, I want to say. Miss you, Magic. I hope you're doing great. But
he's probably going to be bigger than Overlord. I think they're establishing a new leader class kind of scale. Wouldn't he be bigger than Megatron? Would he be?
I think he would be, but I mean, he might just be bigger than their Megatron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see him being a 6-shot and Overlord the same size as Megatron or bigger.
I think Overlord's the same size as Megatron.
Okay.
I got boxes in front of all my stuff. I don't know where my Megatron is. Damn it.
Fun.
I think he's about the same. They're about the same size as Six Shot.
I scrolled down. I see a picture here, and it's just hard to tell because Megatron's in front of everyone. Like, it could go either way. It looks like he might be Six Shot size, but Overlord looks like he could be a little bigger, but it's all perspective, right? So
there's a photo with Megatron on here?
You just scroll down. Dame Chalk posted it.
Of course.
They said, can anybody give me a sense how big this guy is? He says same size as Tyrant. So is that Megatron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I would think he'd be bigger.
The detail really looks like he'd be bigger too, but I mean, you know.
I have the big Iron Factory chicken one with the giant wings. I don't even know what figure that is. I think Make Toys too. Wings. They did a silver version. What character is that? Looks like a Gundam. Looks like a Gundam.
Oh my God! It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh. There's that Scorponok they made that you and I were talking about the other week, Robert.
Oh, it's a beautiful figure. The problem is it just doesn't scale. But I mean, it's comic scale, I guess.
Yeah.
It's comic scale. So.
We're allowed to make calls that we love.
Let me see. Here's this fucker. Come here.
Well, Iron Magnus says it's actually a little taller than Tyrant. So, you know, shows you damn Chalk. What do you know? You must be new, bro.
That guy, whatever the hell his name is. Galaxy Chicken.
Nova Prime.
One's fell out, so I can't hear shit.
That's
you see
Nova
it?
Prime.
Nova Primes. I'm so mad. Like, the one thing that's Galaxy Chicken.
Like
the one thing that's motivated me to get this office clean. If you look at his right shoulder, he's missing a shoulder pad. That's because when I first took him out of the box, that shoulder pad flew off somewhere in this little office under something. And I'm slowly making my way to that shoulder pad. And I know I will eventually find it.
Someday.
We'll find that shoulder pad in here. It will happen. And then I know my job is...
Like, oh, Bumblebee's gun, too.
You. Oh, that was yesterday. I found Bumblebee's gun. It was right in the open. I was like, oh, there you are, little fella. And then I thought of you.
And super glue that into his hand.
Yeah.
I wish you could. If only you could. They made it that way, and it could tuck in somewhere instead of having to be plugged into the bottom. It really could use something to make it not come out anymore.
I would just think that I would think the Falm would be as big as Nova Prime, no? But he's not, I guess.
I think we should, from now on, whenever we use Crazy Glue to fix something, we'll just call it the Oscar method.
Mm-hmm. I'm down with it.
Yeah. Here's Six Shot and Galaxy Chicken. This is...
Name's Nova Prime, Robert.
Galaxy Chicken. It's more... What's it doing? This looks like it should be the scale. But what do I know? And please disregard the posing. Please disregard the posing.
Okay, he's big.
That should be... Don't you think that should be the Fallen? Like, he should be a little beefier?
He might be a little beefier. We don't know yet. I mean, I don't know where Diam Chalk is getting his information saying it's just as big as Tyrant. He's not in that photo.
Well, they're saying... So, the reason he's saying that is he's saying that Chaos Raven is a remold of Tyrant, according to Iron Factory.
Really?
That's what they're saying.
Then it would be the same size. Hold on, let's go back there and take a look.
Is that the official Iron Factory name for this guy? Chaos Raven?
Yep.
That is fucking stupid.
Sounds like Chaos Chicken. Chaos Chicken. Chaos Chicken. Well, yeah, look at the hips. You see the same hip skirts, kind of. You see... Let's see. You see... If you just go up and down real quick between the picture with the Tyrant and...
And doesn't he turn into a tank thing?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Same similar shape to the calves.
You win this round, Diam Chalk. Just this round, my friend.
Yeah, but actually, he's a little bit taller because he has a head crest.
I'm gonna call you an Anton.
Stop supporting the enemy. Diam Chalk is a sexy enemy.
Shoulder pads are similar too. Yep.
I mean, damn, where's he doing lately? Is he working out or what?
That's beautifully detailed, though. Gotta say. Yeah, you're right. That's probably just the Megatron tank.
Let's see. God, I'm lazy. Let me look this up. Iron Factory Megatron alt mode. Let's see what that looks like, shall we? Iron Factory. Iron Factory. Tyrant. Let me type Tyrant. All mode. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see what this looks like. All right. And it looks just like it. Okay. Here.
Yay.
This is not the same color.
Well, I know what I'm not going to buy.
Let's see. You know what the thing is? The Megatron has so many, what's the word? Configurations with all the accessories. So they clearly, tweaked the mold here and went with their own accessories and, some certain mode of the configuration for this figure. So it's not like if they're next to each other on the shelf, you'd really have to look hard to notice it's the same mold, I think.
Yeah. It looks to me like the tank treads on one of the two is closer, like on the Fallen looks like it's closer to Megatron. I don't know, can you move them forward or not, or is it just like the color of the plastic maybe that just kind of makes it look that way?
It would be the angle. Look at the angle of the shot, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of things that kind of make it look different, but who knows if it is.
See how the back legs fold up? The tank treads are shaped the same.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the angle of the shots, I would say, if you ask me, because everything, the hands, everything, it is the same transformation. But it's okay. I don't mind it so much, just because there's so many configurations, and if you go like straight up G1 Megatron, they will not look the same. The shoulder pads aren't there, the different bits aren't there. You're not going to have the tank treads. The G1 Megatron can't transform because you're taking the tank bits off. So it really becomes a different figure, which is interesting. It's an interesting take on it. But if you're going to have this Megatron that turns into a tank next to that dude that turns into a tank, they're going to look alike.
I love that Iron Factory's Megatron, though. That shit is solid in my book.
What's interesting to me is, in these bot mode pics, do you see the treads on his back? Because that's where they go. Don't they? Yeah, they go on his back on Megatron. Are they there? Let me see picture 2. Picture 2. Yeah, they're there.
I like the sword, though, and the spear.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. This thing.
But he also has a fusion cannon. Well, then again, that's who Megatron named himself after, right? Was the Fallen's really Megatronus Prime, one of the Fallen 13 Primes?
Interesting. Yeah. And is he supposed to have like a Galvatron-esque helmet?
I don't think so. I think that's just to be like, oh, nice try. We're not copyright infringement.
I love his mace. That's sick. Yeah, that's not a spear. That's a mace.
Is that a mace?
Yeah, that's to freaking crack you over the head with.
Yeah, yep, it is.
Oh. That's sick. That's pretty sick. I want to have, I want to I don't know, one way to do the displays, like you have this little baby Transmetal 2 Megatron, Heat Fire Blast, whatever his name is, and the Perfect Effect. You have this guy in front of the Flames toys Fallen, because that thing looks sick. It'd be cool to just have these, little babies with their papas. Gross.
So, speaking of babies and papas, this thing's definitely for babies. It is the TFC Blot figure from their Satan line.
They need to give up. I mean, it's fine. It serves the purpose of Blot, but I do think that the head is just not at all what I picture. It's too high for Blot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although what I will say is pretty cool about the head design is he has 3 buzzsaws, 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom part of his jaw.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of hoping that jaw would open and close. Didn't Unique Toys open and close, Robert? You have Odin.
Yeah, but he's behind a stack of boxes. So
Does it not open and close? It looks like it opens and closes.
It does open and close. It does open and close. It does open and close.
I made the joke in our chat today that, hey, look, they have TFC Skyhawk for sale for $50, and that's all I'm seeing is TFC Skyhawk in his alt mode and with the leg design and shit like that. And their Hades was a good combiner, but I don't know, man. I feel like it's a little too late to be doing this character. They should have just moved on.
Mm-hmm.
Are we seeing a renaissance in this style though? Right, you got that the Chang toys, Kang toys.
The Kang toys, yeah. I mean, there is a nuance to it. Yes, I would agree with that completely.
This generation toys, Red Bull is a similar aesthetic, albeit a little less chunky. Like this, it seems like this MP scaled chug style aesthetic maybe having a little renaissance. I don't know.
Well, I definitely think that's probably true, given the success of Earthrise. I mean, it's definitely. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's been like, I wish I didn't sell XYZ thing because it would look great next to this Earthrise stuff that I'm now collecting. So,
right. Earthrise is.
Are you really like you in, Justin? Have they kind of brought you back a little bit on the Earthrise side?
Yeah, but only the Autobots. That's kind of the hard stance I've been taking. Is like, even though like I've heard good things about the Seekers and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm just gonna collect the cars, and that's that. So like. It's not as all in as it could have been, but yeah, I mean, I've definitely looked at stuff. I'm like, I wonder if I still have that old Unique Toys. I think it was Sound Blaster. Like that was a good representation of Blaster.
Damn right it was. Yeah, that and definitely that and Unique Toys Mania King.
I believe I still have him too. So
yeah, it's still an amazing figure. It's tight. It's still tight. It's beautiful.
Chucks.
Yeah, I mean, hey, well, you know what it is? Like, credits due to Hasbro for upping their game with paint and articulation. So these companies, these third-party companies, may be doing something pretty smart because they're tantalizing those collectors, because now they're paying more money for Hasbro stuff, significantly more money. And they're like, hey, for a couple more dollars, you can get these figures too, and they go good on your shelf. It's like they're sucking in a new wave of collectors, and I don't think they're getting suckered at all. It's just an aesthetic, and it all depends on where you're going. There's so many options.
I totally agree. It's about time they stepped up their game and made it. I mean, I still think they kind of fall short on some places because they have limits, and it kills me because when I look at that like double dealer, I really want to like it, but then I look at those fucking legs and how empty they are.
Yeah.
Like it's not even given. Like I'm sure the joint there is super solid, but seeing that reminds me of a lot of like, oh, there we go, nailed it. The Generations Trailbreaker. Like how they basically copied freaking the Fans Project, Stunticons, like Transformation. I believe it was Dead End or something like that. You have them in robot mode. The difference with Fans Project, the leg closed and it looks solid, but in Trailbreaker's case, I see hollow leg on the inside. And that's what I see when I look at that double dealer, and people are like going crazy over it, and that's groovy, man, but it's just like easy passing.
But that's where the third party can reel them in, just like they did originally. Like TFC can do fillers, anyone can do fillers, and then people get the filler sets, and then they see this stuff. I mean, it's interesting.
There was Paul Chi who showed photos. I think Paul Chiu. I'm saying his name wrong, and I don't mean to upset him, but he has the gap fillers for the Siege Impactor, which take a figure that I think is all right in my book, and it makes it phenomenal once you apply it, and it doesn't adhere, like messing with transformation, I believe. So, we'll see. I mean, like, I'm not going to jump on that double dealer. I'm not super crazy about it. And honestly, after messing with Starscream all this time, like, do I really want to go Seeker crazy? Like, I don't think I do.
And that's where Matt triggers.
Yeah. Like it's I think that version of Starscream I feel like is 5 years too late. It should have been done in that scale 5 years ago. Why
can't you just be happy? Man, fuck all y'all.
I am happy with it, but I'm happy 5 years later than I should have been. Where my faith should have been better applied. When you have me longing for deluxe class Seekers. Like there's, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that's just my opinion on it.
Y'all fucking nerds. You're always complaining, and they finally give you what you want. Now you complaining that they gave you what you want. Jeez, god dang it. I don't know why I come on here. Fuck this. I'm just gonna go back to Stasis Lock. Everyone's loved Beast Wars.
All right, well, let's move on to. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give myself credit though, as I'm getting nostalgic, really hardcore. I've been drawing some serious Beast War photos lately. It's been fun.
You know what my second favorite episode is? My first favorite is Code of Hero, but my second favorite was remember when Air Razor attacks the Predacons, and like she goes like fucking supersonic. Do you remember that scene?
Oh, I'm rewatching the show with my nephews every Sunday, so I mean.
Show. I really do.
We haven't gotten to that episode yet. We just finished the episode where there was a probe sent from Cybertron, and they were fighting to get a signal out so the probe would notice it, and the Predacons won. And then the ship was launching. They got the Predacon ship to launch, and then they had to leave Optimus Primal behind. And then my youngest nephew Alex was just like, "No, not the monkey. No, the monkey, stupid cat." So,
not the monkey, Daddy.
Not the monkey.
So wait, you've seen the show all the way through, right?
Yeah, I have. It's a specific moment in an episode that maybe if people mention other things that happen, it might trigger the memory of it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Cool. That's cool that you rewatch. It's fun to rewatch something that it's been so long you forgot most of the details. You know what I mean? It's like it's interesting. It's an interesting experience because you're watching it all over again. For the first time. I wish I could do that with Dragon Ball. But that'll be like 30 years from now.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is like once you see any part of Dragon Ball, it's like you've seen the whole thing. You'll instantly remember it all because you're like, oh right, yeah, like this 7 hours on the last 10 minutes of Namek.
Well, it's funny. It's weird because like the original cartoon series Dragon Ball with Goku as a child wasn't like that. They didn't have episodes where they were able to elongate a saga just by having someone power up to 100%, right? Mm-hmm. It was always like I think like a lot of the way they filled in episodes in the old Dragon Ball series, it's been a while since I've seen that too, is just they were like Lord of the Rings. They walked everywhere they went.
Mm-hmm.
And Dragon Ball was the MacGuffin, the monster of the week type of shit.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, have never watched the original Dragon Ball the whole way through.
I think you should.
I can't do it. So I'll try sometime, but I don't know. It just never grabs my attention the same way. Like I know a ton of people speak highly of it, but for whatever reason, it never grabbed my attention.
I think it's funny because I didn't get to it until I was probably in my 30s when I started actually watching it. I learned about Dragon Ball when I was in high school because it blew my mind that in Japan, their comic book characters grow up and have children.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're here in the States, Peter Parker, Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent have been in their 30s for God knows how fucking long.
Yep.
And meanwhile, in Japan, Son Goku fucking got married, had a couple of kids, and is a fucking grandfather right now.
Father of the year.
He's a shitty dad when you get technical about Goku, but still, he's a grandfather. Like there's a lot of progress in Japanese manga. So and I give it credit. I think it's really neat. We went way off topic. That is off the rails off the bridge into the water.
Oh,
so speaking of Earthrise, we have an Earthrise 2-pack of I believe it's Prowl and Ironhide. We are.
So realistically, does anybody think that this is not just going to be the Siege ones, like packaged together? Maybe a slightly different paint job on both of them.
They're saying it's the Earth mode version, so we'll get a van, I guess.
Yeah, but like that Earthrise one, like they'd be like, it's close enough, right? Like that. I feel like
it was, yeah.
I feel like Hasbro is definitely going to take that route. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
Are they doing that? I mean, Earthrise and Siege came out really close to each other, no?
Yes.
So they're not redoing. Are they really redoing the same character? Let's
elaborate real quick how close Siege and Earthrise was released. That you have a batch of Astro Trains with the Siege logo, and a batch of Astro Trains with the Earthrise logo.
And they're different. They're different toys.
Yep.
No, they're the same.
Okay.
I dare anyone to challenge me on that.
Yeah, they are absolutely the same, but they have two different lines.
So, okay, we know Megatron is a retool,
mm-hmm.
right?
of his original version, which is fucking lazy. But yeah.
So I mean, are there any instances where they released the same character but it's a new toy between the two lines?
So far as the Starscream. Okay. Starscream was a Cybertronian jet, and now he's a Earth like Raptor jet type thing. I forget.
Well, that's worth it, right? They only needed to make one Seeker mold, and they've got 6 out of it at least.
9 if they do the Rainmakers again, but they're not.
And then when they make the Target exclusive Red Wing, they get another one and things like that.
That puts you at 10.
Yeah, so any Seeker mold is money in the bank. For Ironhide, what do you get? Ratchet and Ironhide?
Yep.
Maybe you can shoehorn somebody else in there and be like, it's stealth mode Ironhide. Haha, wink wink. It's actually Diaclone for all you collectors.
And it's a BotCon exclusive with your $700 pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with Prowl anyway, you get 4 Datsuns out of it if you count Barricade, right? 5 if you count like the Silver Streak Blue repaint if they go that route. Let's see who else. You're obviously not going to get. Shout out to that guy on Facebook who did a custom Bumblebee out of the Cliff Jumper mode. That looked really good. I should look up photos on that to show you guys. I thought that was really neat. But I don't really see, I honestly, and here's where I'm going to be like weird with my request. If they're going to do this whole Earth mode things, Earth mode forms, I would like them to do the Stunicons, but non-combining individual robot modes.
Why?
You know what I'm saying?
Why?
I don't know. Like, I think it would work to make them like individuals and not focus on the whole because I'm over the years I've thought these Stunicon figures for the Combiner Wars line, like the Combiner was awful, right? And the whole Combiner Wars line was riddled with a lot of repaints and retools. But I think if they were to make like a proper dead end out of the with its own line where they don't have to depend on a combining gimmick, I think they would kind of do okay. I don't know.
Interesting.
Make a Motormaster that is like a straight job truck. It doesn't need to be a 53-foot trailer. There's 35-foot straight job trucks out there that can transform into a fucking robot. That's fine. Kind of spice it up. Make the alt modes more modern day, because there are not a lot of fucking vans like Ironhide and Ratchet out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting Ironhide to be a fucking Dodge Caravan or anything like that, but come on, let's be real. That specific type of van isn't out and about anymore. But if I guess it's got to be an Amazon exclusive.
Yikes!
This is the type of thing, like, before I can be at all excited about it, I need pictures, and I need to know what it is. Like, at Toy Fair they didn't show a new. Well, did they showed a new smoke screen, didn't they? Was it a retool of? I think it was a retool of the
smoke screen's got to be the first one out of the 3 Datsun brothers, I believe.
Yeah. Was it a retool of the Earthrise, or was it new? Because if it is new, then maybe there is hope that there's an Ironhide coming.
I need to see those photos again. I'd be able to tell you, because I had every single one of those molds before I broke down and sold them. All right, we are looking at the next subject on the notes here. That's the Arcee MP51. So we have some photos of her in posing chests. Everyone's calling her Grandma Boob Arcee.
But it works when she arches her back. It looks a little better.
I don't think it does.
Does she have Takara Tomy tramp stamped on her stomach like he's her pimp?
She should.
I'm. You know what I feel? I feel like it's because of Hound. Like, now that's affecting my view of the company, right? Like, is this going to be made cheaply? Are these materials thin and flimsy? It's really skirting the edge between an MP and just a toy. Something about it.
Well, that's been keeping me from buying like the MP Plus figures, right? Because I would love to get that smoke screen and Silver Streak in the cartoon color scheme. But it's like, are they made from the same material, or do they feel as good as their original predecessors? I don't know.
I just have a lot of problems with this particular figure. Like, I mean, the chest is obviously one of them. You know, the chest looks like it's falling off, like it's barely attached to this figure, which, like, I don't know how any designer looks at it and be like, I nailed it. Because, like, you didn't,
We got
you know?
it, guys.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, like...
What? I said we did great.
Yeah. You know, like, this is the type of thing, like, there's things you could, you know, look the other way on, but, like, and you know, not in any derogatory way or whatever, like, the chest is, like, you know, an iconic part of that character, you know, like, it's the one fembot, and you couldn't even do that correctly, you know?
Well, the nerds will tell you that this is screen accurate.
Is it, though? But I don't recall it being like that from what I remember in the movie. I gotta pull up, let's see, 1980 movie Arcee. Why did my thing auto-correct his 67? No, that is not how it looks. That is not what she looks like at all in the anime. So I'm gonna save this image and I'll send it to you guys, because, like, if this is what you're going for, you could not have been further from the mark. Let's see, where did it save? I don't know. 7C.
Yeah, they would have been better off giving her just like an A cup. I know it sounds crazy, but because, like, here's an image, the one with Springer.
There you go.
Yeah, but what are the fanboys got to fap to?
Like, Arcee does not look like, she doesn't look like her MP character at all in this case.
It's like, okay, the horizontal. Is that me?
I don't know, but it went away now.
The horizontal line of the chest looks to be that's where they're placing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
exactly.
The thing. They got the line right, but it's coming out too far.
Mm-hmm. The collar goes down, like, way too far for it, you know? Like, so, you know, honestly, looking at it, I see the problem. If you take the part that the Autobot logo is, it needs to be less, like, it's bent in too much.
Right.
Like, it needs to be extended up towards the collar more. Aliens are coming again. I don't know who it is, though. But it needs to extend up more, because this is just not right. It doesn't look right. It looks awful. It looks like it's falling off. I don't like her wedge feet that she has here. Like, it's fine. I assume she'll stand better, but it doesn't look right.
How is she going to cover the weight with that backpack, though? Unless it's really light plastic.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's not going to be very heavy. But even the backpack doesn't even look... It looks phoned in, too. Like, all those panels just fold in and hide there. Like, the bottom half, the back of the car and the front of the car all fold in there, which is fine, because that's what you're going to have to do with any Arcee, right? Like, the backpack covers all of the car bits to make the feminine, you know, shape of the character. I get it, but, like, when you look at Arcee from the side, like, in the two pictures, like, look how the backpack, like, it's there, but it's, like, filled in, right? Like, I don't know. It doesn't look right in this one. And I was looking at the car, because I was like, well, maybe I like this for the car mode. Maybe the car is what I would do with this if I pick it up. And, like, even the car, like, maybe the car looks cartoon accurate because it looks squished. You know, like, it doesn't look right to me. I don't know.
It looks more like a caddy somehow.
Yeah, it almost looks like
this.
It's like someone, Arcee went and ran into the car in front of her and squished the front bumper of the car in, and that's Arcee now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding Fans Toys up, and I mean MMC, she's got even less of a protrusion for the chest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the Fans Toys has more of a protrusion than the MMC, but it's just much smoother. It doesn't shelf out like that. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's shelving out.
Yeah.
It looks almost like a baby Bjorn.
Yeah.
Than a chest.
Yeah, and
so I wondered, did
it's
they
not
have to do
done
that?
right. It has to. Obviously, it has to be that way because it needs to fit somewhere in the transformation. But like you couldn't have tweaked anything to make that work. Like Like if you need to take a shortcut and you make it on the back of her thigh, like the back or the back of the robot, like her actual like spine area, you know, and like, well, that's not the best looking thing, like no big deal. But this is the front of the robot. Like even if this thing's just sitting on the shelf, it looks terrible. You know, like this isn't even like, well, from that one angle it looks terrible. It's like, no, this thing looks absolutely awful from every angle that's not from behind, I suppose. You know?
Giggity. Well, you know what the thing is? People complained about the Fans Toys gap between her chest and her back. This has a gap, and it's arguably more visible because it's further forward.
Yeah. The Fans Toys gap never bothered me because, like, again, I got that, like, the way the character kind of, you know, that feminine shape and stuff, and, like, the way the car has to transform, like, okay, somewhere the design has to give in some way, you know, like it has to.
I just sent a couple images.
I don't know. So
I just sent you a couple. The RC, the MMC RC's head is kind of squished down. That was amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and I like how MMC did it. I kind of wish that it was bigger so I could put it with an MP collection. But I mean, honestly, Fans Toys scales with those movie bots for MP size better. And as a result, like, you know, like I don't love the little gap there, but at the same time, like that's like one angle that it really doesn't look great. You know, like
the MMC works. The MMC, honestly, here's the. I'm holding them up, so it's not going to be too accurate, but you get an idea. Oh, that looks great, Lisa. Wait, I'm taking a picture. We don't want to see. Here it is. Here's the MMC RC with the Fans Toys Hot Rod. That's a shitty picture. Hold on, let me do it again. It's not terrible. Here to send it to you. It's really not terrible. You can go MMC for your. Thank you, Lee.
Yeah, I feel it's still a little bit small looking, but
it is.
Yeah. But no, I get it. You know, and like I think the MMC one is a good design. I still think the Fans Toys one's a good design too. I don't have any problems with it. And like both of them though, the thing you can see is like even though all the car folds into the backpack and you have to make some concessions there, both of them have solid backpacks from the side. Not this gappy thing. You know, like look at that picture. It says MP. Let's see, what picture is it? It's the first one. Just Masterpiece RC 51. Like where she's doing that, like, you know, showing that she has no ass and, you know.
That's the Oscar pose.
Yeah. Like, look how much shit you see through the side of the car. Like, why couldn't you have taken those panels and at least, like, tried to fold them out in a way to make them look like it's a solid backpack? Like, it honestly just looks like you crumpled it up and then, like, you took the two front fenders of the car and dropped it on top and said good enough.
In all fairness, though, it's kind of like that's Takara's MO at this point with the MP stuff. But there's always been like an excuse for it. Like with Bumblebee, it's like, well, look at him from the front. It's super screen accurate. But you're not getting that now with her chest. And it's her chest is throwing the whole thing off.
It is. And every single action shot here, they're like, look how posable she is. She's holding the gun with one hand and then cupping her hand with the other. And here's the same thing, but she's on the ground doing something weird. And then here's her kind of laid out like Princess Leia or whatever on, you know, with Jabba the Hutt. Like, that's great and all, but like not one of those pictures does like the chest to head ratio look right. Like, it just accentuates how bad it looks.
Ironically, it's like they're trying to distract you with that aesthetic by just, oh, let's sexualize this robot.
Exactly. The nerds will buy it because they can put it on their desk and make it look like this. Like,
your coworker's gonna be like, "You're weird." You shut up, man. It's the only way she looks good, okay?
Yeah. She has to sit there with her hand over her heart, so your quote unquote heart.
You don't understand. I'm not a pervert. This is the only way this figure displays well, okay? You don't understand.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. Just bad all the way around. So, I don't know. Better luck next time. Is anyone getting this? Like,
no.
Yeah.
I might.
Resounding no.
I might because, you know, my kids love Arcee. You know, named Azalea after Arcee. And I don't know. I might get it. I might get it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be disappointed, but I'm going to get it.
Well, my thing is like I'm all about collecting the G1, the G1 MP cars, but like this is one I'm like I don't think I can do it. Like I just don't think I can. It doesn't look good, and I don't really know. Like I flat out feel like I'm wasting money. Even this pose where they're trying to do the Princess Leia pose, like the way the articulation works, she just looks like she's got this like pot belly thing going on. Like I don't know.
But
it doesn't even work.
Is it like this? My stomach won't poke out.
Yeah.
Gotta be great. So
you like my Takara tummy pimp stamp? But look, it's funny. The alt mode's so clean. And you have to ask yourself, it looks like they really wanted a clean alt mode, as if a clean alt mode is the saving grace aesthetic point for this figure. And they rarely transformed in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
They really just started running around. Everybody's the same height. Everybody was the same height. They were just cartoon characters running around. It was, and it's like you gotta nail the robot mode.
Yeah.
If both are great, awesome.
Well, and like the thing that gets me is like there's so many versions of Arcee that even Hasbro has done that have been like I don't know if I would say they nailed the alt mode necessarily, but like it's been quote unquote close enough, right? And it didn't look like this. Like I don't understand. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to. So.
It doesn't. I mean, do you think she have an ab? Yeah, I guess she does have an ab crunch. It's probably a ball joint.
She has to have something there.
Not a real fan.
No, I don't think I am. I honestly
Matt would
don't.
be so quiet. Matt would be so quiet right now. Oh God.
We go. Fuck you, Justin.
Man, just move it along. Okay, we get it. You hate it. Okay, just move it along.
Yeah, we get it, man. You hate. I love Transformers. I'm a fan. Okay, I'm a fan. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
And Matt be like, I am getting this, because we know he would.
I'll
So
buy 3. One to display, one to keep in a box, and one to throw at gators so he can get ready for the pug fights.
I'm going to get a clear one. I'm going to get a green one. I'm going to get a blue one. I'm going to get a clear green one. I'm going to get a clear blue one.
I'm going to get Jolly Rancher version. I can taste that Jolly Rancher right now. Right there. I'm going to test it. And speaking of test shots, hey, we got a Haslab Unicron test shot figure.
I cannot wait to turn around and sell this thing.
Because you're getting the Zeta?
I really want the Zeta over this one. Like the more I look at it, I'm like all this stuff. I'm like, I think I got in that like I don't want to miss out on this thing. Like this thing's gonna be big and huge, and then I'm like, see it on the kitchen counter. Like, what the fuck am I thinking?
It's
like,
just a giant shell former. So how can you really appreciate the engineering, right?
Exactly. Like it's not. All things considered, it's not really all that exciting.
Which is big.
Yeah.
The Zeta is not the shell form.
There's something funny about him just like with his hand out the window looking outside.
Mm-hmm.
Or sitting on the couch with the cat.
I wish I could be outside right now.
The Matrix is out there somewhere.
We got pizza. Leave it on the doorstep. You need to pay me. Your posturing is dubious.
But he's fishing. What about the shot with him fishing as a planet? It's big. It's big. It's just like, okay, this is an instance where maybe size doesn't matter so much because it's just a fucking shell form.
Right, and no matter what size he is, he's probably not fitting in. Like he's never gonna scale with what he comes with. I don't know. Like I want to like it, but at the same time, like I just feel like it's too big. It's just not.
Oh my
so
God!
necessary.
I can't wait till I see him squished in the detolfs. Oh, I can't wait. I
don't think it's gonna happen.
Photos of the detolfs that caved, tempered glass my ass. They're all gonna fall down.
No, it's gonna be like I customized my tough, so I took the walls out and I double widened them and I took the shelves out, and it's just him, and like, oh, how'd you do that? Oh, I just got some A34 plugs and I did that and did and then it's tough now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What happened to the detail? I just broke it. No,
I just glued it all together. I don't know, man. Yeah, if it's between this and Zeta, and I got both coming, but I mean, I prefer the Zeta. I prefer to know that it's not just a cheap shelf warmer. It's not cheap. It's just it's expensive, but it's still cheap to me because it's an action figure with the shell on his legs and back that just pops around him and he curls up into a ball.
Yeah, like maybe when I get it, I'll be surprised and I'll enjoy it. But like, the more like I kind of look at it, the less I'm excited about it, and the more I just kind of want to get rid of it. Like I don't know where this is fitting. Like I got that from doing that subscription service. Oh, I did get something this week. I totally forgot. But yeah, from doing that subscription service for the Ecto one, like that's gonna be huge, and like I just don't know where this goes to. So I don't know.
It's a good desk bot. Imagine trying to work around it. You got you put your monitor behind him, your keyboard in front of him. No, keyboard behind him, and you got to put your arms through the two holes around the rings to type, and maybe look through the hole in his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it worthy of like a display piece on a stand somewhere? Like I wouldn't put him in robot mode that way, but maybe in planet mode.
I think he looked great in like a man cave, like on a coffee table, or just a centerpiece table that it could perch on,
on a plinth with a light.
There we go.
Yeah, like I mean, ultimately, and like the thing is, if I get this guy, I feel like he's gonna end up just being in planet mode, sitting somewhere, and like I don't know.
Well, he'd be easier to clean in planet mode.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. Like this is definitely a case. Like when this ends up being in my hand, I feel like I just gotta, look on eBay, see what it's going for, and make the decision if I want to keep it or whatever. But like, as time goes on, the more and more I'm like, I really regret this. Like, I'm afraid. It's the fear of missing out. I'm afraid that something amazing was gonna happen, and then like I see it, and I'm just like, it's really not that amazing, right? Like,
they really misled us at first because the first shots they showed did not have the Pringles on the legs.
Mm-hmm.
It did not. He wasn't covered in Pringles yet, and they slowly started adding Pringles. We kind of got adjusted to it. It's true.
And the other thing is, like, I did not really like how they ran their little campaign, because like when it failed, I'm like, okay, like clearly there's not enough other people interested in this as well. Like, okay, like I am fine with this not going through, and this is just like, well, that was a fun experiment but didn't happen. I'll pick up the Zeta, and then they're like, hey, we're extending it a month. I'm like, fuck you guys. And like,
and there's a run on the bank when you started seeing like thousands going in.
Yeah, and like suddenly, like, they're like, oh, we got all these orders coming. I'm like, something is sketchy here. Like, you did something I don't like. Like I just feel like you've scammed the people who actually were interested in it in some way. Whether that maybe that's you made 1,000 to a retailer at a discounted price. Like, we're gonna put you down that you paid this because it's your own crowdfunding thing, but we're only gonna charge you this. Because that's the production cost. Maybe something like that, and like it feels like I've been scammed, and I don't appreciate it.
It sounds a lot like those that instance where, someone speaks up about something, and the person's like, absolutely not at all whatsoever. Someone makes this really good idea, and then someone's like, no, I don't like it, and then I know someone's like, how about we make a Unicron? I don't see a lot of interest. Just wait a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait a little longer. Now, see, look, it's spiking. Interest is spiking. Okay, yeah, we can go with that. All right, yeah, we'll do Unicron. It's like, wasn't Haslab trying to do like a 2-foot tall cookie monster?
Yeah, that didn't go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they didn't extend that. But here's like, Unicron people are on the fence about it, and they're like, well, let's extend it a month.
Yeah, the whole thing was really shady, and like even at the end of that extension, it didn't look like it was gonna happen, And then also it's like last couple days, like there it is, and I'm like, what happened? Something is super fishy. So
it was like they already knew. You see, if they met their goal, right? They probably met their goal very early, but it was from retailers, wholesale stuff, right? So if they just say goal satisfied, shop's closed, they just lost out on a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So leave it open, tease it, cause a run on the bank, and then get the retail sales up, get the people pre-ordering it at full price, and then at the last second, let the real numbers out, and then say the goal is met. That's what you did. That's what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why cut themselves off when they know that they've already met the goal? They probably met the goal so early that they were like, okay, what do? We got another 3 weeks on this thing. Do we just shut it? Well, why should we shut it if there's going to be people buying it? Well, what do we do? You know what we do? Just let it see how many come, and they're probably getting purchases, and they're looking at charts. Let's extend it. Let's see how many more sales we get. And they were making a lot of money, and at the end of it, that's the only explanation for how in the last day it went up thousands. Didn't it go up by thousands?
Yes.
Wasn't the goal 8,000 and they hit over 12,000?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And this is for something that didn't have any interest previously. Like, come on. Like, you really expect people to buy that? I don't know.
Okay, what's the secondary value? What's the secondary market value on this, do you think?
I don't know. At this point, I honestly don't know if I would be able to turn it around and make my money back,
Do you think they flooded the market with them?
Yeah.
Like everybody and their cousin's going to have one.
I think they did. I think you're probably going to see it between $8 into $1,000. You won't see it more than that because there's no way you'd really have to sit on it at least 4 years before you could start asking $2,000 for it.
Right, but I mean, okay, the Jabba's not Jabba's palace.
The sail barge, yeah.
The sail barge was really detailed, really intricately painted and detailed. It's like a play set. This isn't a play set. And that thing, once it met its goal, it was done. They didn't make as many. They didn't make 12,000 of those, right?
I don't know.
They made 4,000 or something, if I recall. I don't know. But it's my understanding it was less. My vague memory is telling me. So it's like, the value goes up in that because there was less of a supply. And what you're getting, it doesn't transform, Matthew. I know that. But the point is, as a toy, there's value in what you're getting. It's detailed. It's a play set for your little figures. You can go in there and see stuff. This doesn't have, it doesn't have the same attention to detail unless they're going to wow us with painted details and stuff. But as a transformer, you would expect the quality where with a Star Wars, ship, you want it to be accurate and to be detailed and have lots of playability and posability where you can set scenes with little figures. With a transformer, it's in the transformation. It's in the engineering and the paint, not just the size. So if you don't give us the engineering and you don't give us the paint and you just gave us the size, it can't have the same late tax value.
Mm-hmm.
It's not its nature. It's the giant chug. But Metroplex, right? How much is Generations Metroplex going for now? Mitten box. Because he's got a pretty crappy alt mode, but Metroplex always did. That's the thing. It's not like a bunch of panels fold out to make his alt mode and they're hanging out on his back and legs. You
Those
could
were the
argue
completed ones. Actually, one that ended recently. I don't know. They seem to go for. It's weird. So some of them. There's one that actually ended for $680, but most of them seem to end around the $300 to $400 mark for in the box.
So it's at least doubling, tripling, if it's mint in box.
Yeah.
And it didn't have any paint. It had stickers. Hopefully this has stickers. But it still looked aesthetically pleasing. It still looks clean in all modes. And Metroplex arguably doesn't have if you look at Utopia, that's a sick alt mode, but for a Hasbro toy, I always had fun with the alt mode, but this thing doesn't have the clean bot mode, but I mean, that thing's tripling.
That's always one that Utopia is always one that I've always wanted to see, because I've never messed with it, and I always regretted it, and then like it was never available to purchase anywhere else. That always made me sad. So I even thought about getting Dystopia just to mess with it, but he was gone too.
Wow.
Yeah. And then and then that latex, I'm like, I don't want a latex pay for this really, but yeah. That's a regret. That's a good question someone should ask. Like, what's like something that you regret either missing out on or purchasing? That'd be a good one. I think we've got regret purchasing, but
what did this thing cost again?
Like 600, something like that.
It's not gonna double.
Yeah,
it'll be like 8, maybe 750. Like
it cost me like $100
It's gonna
to
hit
ship
like
it
a
too.
grand, maybe $1,200, bro.
That'd be great to see. That'd be great.
You think so?
Think about it. The people collecting this, right? And I dig at them. It's just like comfort zones with purchases. You got statue collectors that spend thousands on one statue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is a statue. Us, we collect third-party MP. I mean, shit, official MP has passed third-party in terms of price. So MP collectors, are used to just get comfortable with with what they got to spend, even though it's not always comfortable to spend the money. They do it. But okay, this is because it's a shell former. It is more in the line with Chug, right? This will appeal to Chug collectors, and I'm not insulting them. I'm just saying like a Chug collector doesn't mind kibble as much because they understand. It's like, okay, I'm getting this figure, but it's really expensive, so it's out of their price range or what they're comfortable spending. Not that they can't afford it. It's just like it's out of their league in terms of where they are in collecting. So how are you going to charge someone like that double? $1,200? They're never going to buy it.
And honestly, as a Chug collector,
if they want it bad enough,
though,
they'll pay for it. Sorry.
I was gonna say, as a Chug collector though, like there's alternates out there. Like there's the Takara and the Amazon Hasbro version of the old Energon Unicron, that is kind of less kibbly than this thing is, less panels for sure, and it's like just drastically cheaper. Like I know the Amazon one was going for a decent price for a while. I don't know if it still is. I think it dropped off because of the this Haslab one, but like there are options out there, and since it won't scale with anything anyway, I don't know,
The fact that it is official makes it attractive for sure.
That's the biggest thing it has going for it, is that it's got the actual Hasbro / Takara name on it, right?
Yeah.
So
if you put this next to Zeta, and Zeta looks better and is cleaner and transforms in a more sophisticated way, if you put somebody who is more of an official collector, I think they would rather. Stop playing guitar. That's really obnoxious. You can't just bust out your acoustic guitar playing in the middle of a show. Oscar?
I'm sorry.
Sancho he felt the muse upon him. But if you put an official collector, a real collector, someone grown up, who's got the change, willing to spend the money, they're at a convention, they see the official, and then they see Zeta, I think they would opt for the official because it's official. There's value.
I would agree with that, and I think that is the saving grace for me looking to get my money back here, is there will be people who didn't buy into it that want to get it. I just don't know if I see it turning like Sail Barge numbers where it's like, holy crap, I missed out, this thing's really awesome, I don't know.
How much is Sail Barge now?
It's pretty ridiculous. So let's see. Let's find that out. Haslab Sail Barge. Only going there's a lot of them going for about $1,000. So I mean,
$1,500. Some keep looking. It's like $1,500 to $2,000.
I'm looking at the ones that have sold.
Okay.
Yeah, sold price. The highest one I see is about $1,300.
Woo.
And how much was it originally?
I think it was also similar price.
It was originally about $1,000.
No. Like the same as Unicron in terms of price. I'm saying. Let's see. Haslab Sail Barge. What was the original price? Oh, it was $500. So.
I don't know, man. Charging $600 for this. Why? Why was it $600?
Yeah, like so far I'm not seeing anything when I look at it that I'm just like, oh, that's this neat thing. I'm like, like the at first I'm like, well, he's a planet and those have to go somewhere, but then you see Zeta does it and it puts all that stuff places and like you're like, oh, they could have done something with it, and they didn't.
Yeah. If
Zeta's I'm like, well, maybe
was this big,
maybe they'll just maybe the panels will pop off somewhere and you can store them away. But even that doesn't look like it's happening. Like, like at this point, if the panels are an issue, they should put that in some kind of thing, being like, we know you don't all necessarily love the panels. Here, you can take them off and store them in the box.
I would prefer if the panels came off, went on that stand somehow to make it look like he's standing on himself or something.
But yeah, I'd be fine with that too.
No.
It reminds me a lot of that photo of him looking out the window, and you see all that crap on his back. If anyone's ever owned Beast Wars Mock Kick, it's the horse Beast Former. Panel City, man. Panel City. But
yeah.
I mean, put it together, you have a nice little horse figure with articulated legs and everything. So, I mean...
I think I had Mock Kick.
I think it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to have a lot of breakage. I don't know if I would ever try to transform it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I saw the Zeta one, and like the fact that like you open something, you like reach in, and this whole thing like flips itself like inside out. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like just watching their little video on like the transformation, I'm like, that is legitimately like interesting looking. And then like the Hasbro one, it's like, it's not as interesting looking. I don't know. I hope I can turn around and sell it. Like I very much am not looking forward to shipping this thing, when I end up trying to off it, but I don't know.
Sell it for $800, cost you like $75 to ship within the same state.
And you know what though? I'll take it because at least I got my money that I put into it back. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of nightmares, I honestly really don't want to cover this next one, but Gregors did put it in the notes. So there is a crossover with Transformers and My Little Pony. That's a comic book. There's actually going to be... Huh?
This is a joke. He had to have done this as a joke.
No, this is actually a real thing. I know that they are doing
Transformers
this.
My Little Prime and Transformers Mighty Morphin Pink Pony My Little Pony figures, each sold separately, subject to availability. Weird. So the confirmation comes via Amazon UK listing for new Plasmane Ghostbusters and My Little Pony crossover figure. The official descriptions is new Ghostbusters themed pony also confirms more characters and crossovers with Transformers and My Little Pony. So let's touch on this quickly. Y'all got in deep with that Unicron chat.
Yep.
Y'all, Justin is not happy.
No.
I wonder if Justin's getting this My Little Pony Plasmane. I think he is.
I don't know. So
yeah.
Like the thing is, and like I don't knock this stuff. Like I don't care. Like I think it's cool if you cross over that way. Do little things like that. Like it's fine. Like I don't need a transforming pony, something like that. But like whatever, if you want to put like a little quote unquote Optimus Prime pony, like that's fine. I don't care. It's just like a Funko vinyl to me, honestly.
Right.
So, yeah, and like honestly, like I'm gonna throw it out there. Like my wife, she just turned on the My Little Pony stuff for the kids. She's like, it's actually really good. Like you should watch it. I'm watching. I'm like, it's not bad. I'm like, it's not
awful.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be someone who's going to cons dressed up as my favorite pony, but like, yeah, sure, if it's on, I'll watch it. Like it's fine.
I'm Rainbow Dash.
So, yeah.
So okay. Well said. We'll just move on to this week's question. I need someone to read it for me.
All right. What is the question?
It's from our good friend MP Collector.
Oh, so this goes for Sancho. Okay. Dear Sancho, do you need the intro music? What did we? What is this? What is this being titled? I can't remember.
Well, we could make it official. I'm going to make a cartoon with Sancho Barbosa called Sancho's Hot Tub. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to call this part of the podcast is going to be Sancho's Hot Tub too. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Hot tub. I'm just putting that in the notes, so I can appropriately chapter this. So anyway, the one and only MP Collector, who is no longer an SCU fanboy but a Sancho fanboy, says, Dear Sancho, what is the most thoughtful present you have ever gifted to your wife? Did you get the response you were looking for out of Mrs. Barbosa? What can the rest of us do to improve our gift-giving capabilities when looking to pick out that perfect gift for the ladies or men? MP Collector, #1 SCU fanboy and friend of sharks everywhere.
My friend, Sancho is not married. ¿A qué me voy a casar? Why would I marry? To tie Sancho down would be to place an anchor in the empty space sea. So Sancho gives the women one gift. Can you guess what it is, my friend?
The gift of love.
The gift of Sancho.
Now, Robert, you could read the questions off Facebook. You get 3 to choose from.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Well, that's not really. JL says, Dear Sancho, I have a loved one that has fallen into the dark web of conspiracies on the internet. How do I get them out? Can Justin fix them?
Nope.
Oh.
Dear Justin, sometimes you must know that you cannot save everybody all the time, but you can save some of the people some of the time. Like an ice cold, refreshing glass of Dos Equis.
Corona.
Stay classy. And more importantly, always look at the boobies. Gracias.
Okay, here's another one. From Jason Sawyer. If a girl says it's my collection or her, how much should I list her for on the cafe?
I saw that. Oh.
$32 shipped. That's with friends and family fees. Gracias, amigo.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Carl B. asked Sancho, I seem to be seeing a new influx of Transformers Masterpiece collectors, Sancho. The demand for Fans Toys figures is skyrocketing, pre-orders selling out, etc. Do you think there is room for another company to start producing high-quality G1 figures? I don't think he understood, Mike. You know, we asked him for questions about life and love.
Cállese, Roberto. I will answer this question. For you must understand, Roberto, even loveless virgins must know the most basic things about toys, juguetes. And when you collect a Transformer and you play with it on your Nintendo, you're still sleeping alone. Gracias.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Sancho.
De nada, pendejo.
Oh, God.
That was good stuff. Okay.
It is.
That was good stuff. That was good stuff. All right.
It was. MP Collector caught me off guard with the Sancho Barbosa question.
Keep them coming, MP Collector, or anyone else.
Yeah.
MP Collector, you're on the line for 2 questions a week. One for the podcast and one for Sancho. So.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm working on a cartoon of it. I showed the guys here. Oops. The assets I drew for him. Just got to find the time to be able to put that all together.
Mm-hmm. I cannot wait for the Sancho World crossover someday.
Oh man, that'd be a battle royale. Sick.
So I guess now it's time to say our goodbyes. So be always sure to check us out on Facebook.com/ShatteredCast Uncut, or is it ShatteredCast, whatever. Email us questions at ShatteredCast@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer them here on the show. We record every Tuesday. We try to get it up by Friday, thanks to the wonderfully talented Justin.
If some of us fall asleep, though, and forget that we did not edit the show yet, and then we wake up at 4 in the morning and have a panic attack, kind of. Not really, but we're just like, the show. And then, that morning, last Friday, I was like, yeah, I'm going back to sleep. Whatever. It's fine. They can wait until I wake up later. And then I try to go back to sleep. I'm like, I can't sleep. I need to get this done. So, and then you know what else happened? I uploaded it all, and I was so tired I never hit submit on Podbean. So it did not go up on Podbean until like Saturday. So
sick burn, bro.
Yeah.
Damn. Edits podcast.
Shout out to Phil, who was like, did you guys record this week? I'm like, we did. And he's like, it's not on Podbean. I'm like, huh? So he's like, I'm not trying to harass you, just so you know. I'm like, no, it's fine. You know.
Who asked you?
Phil.
Oh, Phil.
Yeah.
Wasn't Bobby.
Nope.
Wasn't Matt.
Of course it wasn't Matt. Matt never listens.
Mm-hmm.
But as always, check us out. So for the sake of Primus, please collect responsibly, especially when it comes to your Unicrons. Sell them accordingly.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a hookup on the Unicron and you want to pay a little bit extra than I paid for it.
Yeah, remember, Justin's got college tuitions he's got to save up for now.
Oh,
he has
yeah.
kiddies.
Mm-hmm. Have a heart. He likes to eat the pizza that my wife makes, and then there's less pizza for me, which means that I'm starving. So
yeah. So
buy my Unicron.
Please go ahead and hit us up, and for the sake of Primus, be good to yourselves and each other. I want you to have a nice day somewhere else. On behalf of me and everyone else here on Shadowcast Uncut, this is the worst outro I've ever did. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Shut the fuck up, Chip.
Have I able to resolve all your issues today, sir?